Hi everyone, I am Say, and I'm here with Nam, one of my favorite people in the world, a dear friend of mine. He has an incredible story that he'll be sharing with all of you. So let's dive right on in. You were raised in Poland, right, Nam? What brought you to Poland?
What a great question, Say. I always ask myself, why not America? Of all the places, it just happened to be Poland. I think back in the early 90s, I think it was a work boom. That's why my family moved there because of work opportunities. Um, I come from the northern Vietnam, and in the early 90s, it was really popular for northern Vietnamese to migrate into Eastern Europe, like Russia, Poland, etc. Yeah.
That's great.
Mhm.
So what was your experience in Poland like?
How can I say it? Long story short, it was hell. For someone like myself, a person of color, it was very challenging because I think my generation, my family, we were kind of like the first wave of immigrants moving into this country. So there was a lot of newness that Polish people experienced us. Um, so there was a lot of curiosity, but as also I remember, experiencing a lot of racism growing up. Little phrases like "ching chang chong," "go back to your country where you belong," was norm for me growing up. And also because the reason why it's tough, racism was not taught because it was so new that nobody knew what we were dealing with. So my entire life living in Poland, I thought that was normal, being, dealing with racism, right? It was really tough, really tough.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Was there any specific experience while you were in Poland that stood out to you and eventually lead you to immigrating to the US? I see you have that US hat on.
Yes. Um, yeah. So living there for 25 years, I didn't know any better. So my entire life, I thought that, being treated like that, like below norm, was normal. Uh, but deep down inside, every time I watch, movies, Disney animation that came from United States, I always dream of that freedom, of that equality. Um, to us, America was a place um, full of dreams come true and just hope. So I always dream about coming here, but because I was raised in a space of survivability, that's why I was never able to dream that it would ever happen, you know. And I believe it took me a near-death experience in order to finally decide that enough is enough. I'll do whatever it takes to get out of this shithole. And in fact, I did. When I turned 25, I was brutally assaulted by two skinheads, to the point where I thought that's it. I thought that was my, the end of my life. But somehow I survived and I knew I got a second chance. So I told myself, I have no idea what am I going to do and how am I going to do it. But I knew that I had to get out of that place. So I literally started to Google, go into internet and just search whatever place that I can go for my school, for my master's degree. And the first thing that popped up was San Francisco. It was 10 years ago. Now, back then, the internet, I think, was still developing. And I've never been anywhere outside of Poland. So I didn't know anything about San Francisco. The only thing I knew about San Francisco was the Golden Gate Bridge and the 80s sitcom Full House. I had no idea that city was the gayest city and the most Asian city of them all. I thought, I didn't know that it was the motherland. So coming here, I was shocked. I was culturally shocked. Like, I had no idea that there's so many diversities. And I still remember the first time I came to Castro Street, seeing two gay men walking together, holding hands, expressing their love. I remember that's when for the first time, I shed tears of joy. I literally could not stop crying. And I just remember crouching on the ground and just literally kissing it. And I was like, I thought that was paradise. And I knew after 1 week living in San Francisco, that was my new home. And, after 10 years of living or working my ass off, trying to find ways how to, live here, I was able to find ways that I can live here legally, and here I am, finding my community and my new circle of people that I can call chosen family in my community, LGBTQ community.
I, for one, am extremely glad you are here in the US, in San Francisco. You're, like I said, one of my favorite people. What would you want folks to know? And I'm guessing you're planning to stay here for a while. And I am really sorry for what happened to you in Poland. That is just awful. The fact that you were, from when you first told me the story, beaten from an inch of your life and you had a near-death experience for being Asian and queer. And that's just, it's so awful. But what would you want folks to take away from your story, your immigrant journey?
To all those who out there who is still struggling, who feels that they're alone, I would say, don't give up. There is hope. There is space out there that embraces your uniqueness, whether you're different ethnicity or queer, or different than the surrounding that you were raised in. I would say, don't give up, reach out. That was the most important thing for me, because if I did not reach out to my community and seek it, I would think I was all by myself and alone, So I had no idea that there's so many people like myself. So yeah, I would say reach out. And I know it can be hard and lonely, but you have a choice always, even in the darkest place and in the hopeless moment of your life. There is hope.
Thank you, Nam. I met Nam only in March, so we've known each other for about 7 months, but it feels like a lifetime. Nam's like a brother to me, and it's pretty incredible that he met Eric, who's a leader in our LGBTQ plus small group at a gay men's choir, and then he had the boldness to join us during quarantine, and we meet weekly every Thursday night. But just like Nam said, find your community, find your people, and know that you are not alone. Yes, there's a lot of us.
And
Um,
if I can add one
yes,
more thing
please.
is, you know what? It's such an amazing feeling the moment you find your community, your people, your circle. It feels, I feel like alive. I feel like finding you, say, finding, all the people in the community. I thought that, wow, I would never in my life imagine that I uh, I would be able to find people like myself, uh, queer, Asian, and now believers as well. And I truly believe all the things that happen to me, I don't take it for granted, because I do believe it had to happen. So that way I can find you guys and ultimately find God. So yeah, very humbled and grateful.
We're so glad you found us and that you took this step to reach out. Um, if anybody wants, any of you want to get in touch with Nam, I'm going to tag him in the caption of the video so you can connect with him on Facebook or Instagram. But again, thank you, Nam, so much for sharing your amazing story with us. Again, I'm so glad you're alive. I'm so glad you came from Poland to San Francisco and into our little small group. And we just wish and hope all the best for you in the US and beyond.
Thank you. And my last words is, the
Yes.
reason why I chose to wear this cap is because this month I am applying for citizenship after 10 years. So you know what? If I can say something to you, to anyone who's listening out there, there's dream come true. It all starts from you believing that anything is possible. American dream come true. My is just beginning. Yours can too. Thank you.
You're so inspirational, Nam. I can listen to you all day long. I love you so much. And I hope all of you enjoyed listening to Nam as well. Again, reach out to him on Instagram and Facebook. And again, Nam, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
See you, everyone. Bye.